film yet. I talked about it last week. Sound of Freedom. It's Mel Gibson produced uh, this film. He produced it like 5 years ago, and it was shelved. Disney shelved it actually. I don't know why, so I'm not going to get into any of that. So I don't want to speculate as to why, but you can conspiracy. You can put your tinfoil hats on all you want or whatever, and get behind the ideas or why they shelved it. I don't know. It could be nefarious reasons. It could also just be that they didn't think it would do very well. Who knows? But either way, it's been shelved since about 2018. Now it's been released. It's a movie that it's about child sex trafficking or human trafficking, whatever. It's for sex, obviously, unfortunately. But this film has been doing really well. I went and saw it, so I'll actually give you a small review after I talk about this. But they released it in limited theaters. Actually, it was funny because when we first booked to go see it, we had to book it for Toronto. If anybody knows Canada, I'm a little bit away from Toronto, so we had to go to Toronto to watch it. But eventually, they actually opened up to closer theaters to us, so we could actually go to a different theater. So, but it actually made like 40 million in its first week in the box office. So since I think it opened on July 4th. So this is as of July 9th. So I'll read a little bit of this article from the Washington Examiner. Uh, it's I don't know how good these guys are. I'm sure they're left leaning, but I'll read a little what it says here. So, Sound of Freedom's opening weekend earned 18 million and took the number 3 spot at the box office. The film, which is distributed by Angel Studios, details the true story of how Tim Ballard, a former federal agent with the Department of Homeland Security, quit his job and risked his life to journey into the jungles of Colombia in an effort to save children from sex slavery. Sound of Freedom shocked the box office on Tuesday with its number one opening day finish, beating Disney's latest Indiana Jones film. Isn't that hilarious? Yeah, Disney shelves this thing for whatever reason they did, and then it beats Disney's latest release of the Indiana Jones franchise, if you will. So a little bit of justice there, I think. As with our July 4th numbers, today's numbers exceed our expectations, and we're going to continue this momentum. Sound of Freedom has taken on a life of its own. Angel Studios head of theatrical distribution, Brandon Purdy, told the Washington Examiner in a statement. We're getting messages from all over the country telling us about packed theaters, sold out theaters, and spontaneous standing ovations for the film in numerous locations. So, okay, this is it's a nice piece, I suppose. It doesn't seem like it's a hit piece necessarily. So that could be actually a pretty good article. But I'll give you a very, from my point of view or my perspective, review of this film. So it's heavy. If you're gonna watch something like this, obviously it's about child sex trafficking. You already go in knowing it's heavy. But it's Mel Gibson, it's Jim Caviezel, and if you've ever watched Passion of the Christ, which is Mel Gibson's first film with Jim Caviezel, where he plays Jesus and the whole story of Jesus, the crucifixion and all that. That movie's disgusting and heavy, and I say disgusting in the way that it's disturbing. Right? It'll just ugh, like I would never want to watch it again because it just was awful. In the way that disturbs you. Not awful, it was well done, but it was awful in the way that made you feel. This movie is very much the same. Although there's some, I don't take too much criticism for this. Sorry, we're talking about kids and sex trafficking. It's trying like it feels like it's trying to make you have feels at times where maybe you wouldn't, like it feels theatrical, so the feels feel contrived to me, at least to me anyway. But there's enough feels in this movie, especially at the end when you sort of see that like they give you the real story, the true story of Tim Ballard, and and basically everything that they show in the film, although it's been dramatized, it is in line with what he did, or what he claims to have done, and I mean and what's provable that he actually did. So the film's good. I mean, it's not you're not going to go and watch and be like, oh, this is an entertaining film. It's going to make you feel bad. So go watch it knowing that you're going to feel bad. Sorry, somebody's bugging me over here. So go in knowing that if you're going to watch this film, it's not going to make you feel good, but it's a film that needs to be made. So I'm happy they made it. I'm happy I watched it. And I'm happily telling people about it. So go see it, help this cause out. I think everybody can get behind the idea that we don't want to see kids trafficked for any purpose, let alone sex purposes. So, you know, if there's anything that was a good cause, this is it.